Welcome. I'm Lynn Morales, and I want to welcome you to this set of video series that will be explaining how BodyTalk works and some key components to help you understand and bridge that gap between BodyTalk sessions and any other kind of um, modality that you may have worked with related to your health. In order to grasp this concept, we need to get a couple things straight and get on the same page about. So let's level set for just a second. You realize that energy runs through the body, right? And maybe you've never thought about it that way, but that's why lightning likes people. Okay, it's attracted to that energy. There's an electrical current that goes through there, and the body likes that. Or have you ever seen on the medical shows where they and the people they shock off the table. Okay, again, electrical current kind of brings the body back into a rhythm and it's an electrical frequency that's going on there. So maybe an easier example for you to get would be understanding how the body in the wintertime when you walk across the carpet, have you ever shocked a family member or the family pet? Again, an energy exchange is going on. That's an electrical frequency that's going from one person to another. So you've been involved in working with the energy within your body. You just may not realize that's what it is. So let's take this concept one step further and talk about a cell phone. Have you ever used a cell phone? Sure, most people have. And a cell phone is nothing more than energy frequencies. It's a cell phone wave traveling through the air. It's a frequency. So you perhaps have used a microwave. Same concept, frequencies. So let's go one step further. Maybe you've seen on those medical shows we talked about an EKG or an EEG, and they're showing heart waves or brain waves, right? And they're showing you that there's a frequency, there's an energy exchange going on within those organs. So let's take that one step further. So what else has a frequency? Well, everything has a frequency. So a glass of milk has a frequency. Bread has a different frequency. A vitamin that you take has a frequency. Or maybe you take a prescription drug. That has a different frequency. Every one of these things has their own unique energy frequency. That's what makes them unique. That's what makes a glass of milk versus a piece of wheat bread. They're totally different. Okay? So, considering that, let's also think about how your body works. Your liver or your heart or any other body part for that matter has a frequency. And each one of those frequencies is unique and different. And the same goes with our words that we use or our emotions. So I'm going to demonstrate that in just a second. But let's take a step back and go back to the liver, and let's talk about the liver for a minute. Do you realize that when you and I were born, provided we both had a healthy liver, we had the same liver frequency? So let me demonstrate that for you. What I've done is I've put together this diagram. Now what you're going to see on the top is a healthy sine wave. Let's just say that that is the frequency for a healthy liver. And on the bottom, what you're going to see is that you see a negative sign, and you're going to see a real jagged line. And that is, let's just say for the sake of this conversation, that's a negative liver frequency. So if you and I were both born with healthy livers, we would have a frequency that looks exactly the same. If one of us had jaundice, which is kind of common in some newborn babies, they're a little yellow looking, they might have a frequency that looks like that bottom one. So what I wanted to demonstrate is that a healthy frequency or a balanced frequency is just that. It looks the same from person to person, so to speak, if they're completely healthy and have no issues. So, having talked about that healthy liver frequency, let's go one step further and let's talk a little bit about, we mentioned some substances earlier, like a glass of milk. So do you realize that if your body has an intolerance or a sensitivity to, let's say, dairy, that your body will actually be able to detect and know when that frequency is near it, and it will have a negative response or negative um, reaction to that dairy. So along those lines, your body can detect when dairy is near it, even if you don't ingest it. It knows the dairy is nearby. Okay, that's actually why some people on an airplane who have maybe a very high allergic response to peanuts, they don't really even have to open the peanut bag. It's already could be happening because somebody near them is eating peanuts. Okay, because that frequency can travel like a cell phone. Okay, cell phone waves travel across the country or wherever, across town, wherever you're using them. So what we're going to do in the next, we're going to do another video after this, and we're going to actually explain what we refer to as muscular biofeedback. And in muscular biofeedback, that's actually like a built-in lie detector test where your body is actually able to detect when a frequency that it's not real fond of is near it. Okay? So we're going to do that in the next video, but let's keep building on this concept of frequencies. So let's see about, have you ever walked in your closet and you picked out your clothes for the day and then you went and put them on, and then when you had them on you went, I don't feel like wearing this shirt today or this blouse or whatever. And you go put it back and you pull another one out of the closet. Now some of you do that a lot, right? That actually, color has a frequency also. And that actually could be your body saying, you know what? I don't feel like that color today. I don't feel blue today. I feel pink or I feel green. In other words, those particular colors, they'll uplift your mood. That's where, think about like the mood rings, right? So it'll uplift your mood and go, oh, you know what? I really feel differently in that color. I feel like wearing that color today. So again, these are all examples of frequencies, and everything has one. So you've been far more in touch with frequencies than you realize. So let's talk about another concept that I'm sure you've experienced, perhaps, and that is, have you ever walked in a room and you could feel tension? You had no idea what was going on in the room, but you could feel tension. You didn't even have to hear the conversation, but the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Okay. That's also a frequency. That's an example of an emotional frequency. Now you can also feel love, feel love for a puppy or a child or a parent. So you can feel frequencies without words even being spoken. So that's actually where things, like prayer come into play if you're the praying type. Um, prayer can work long distance, if you pray for our troops overseas and things like that. So keep these concepts in mind as we move forward to our next video, which is actually going to go over muscle testing or muscular biofeedback. And what I'm going to do in that video is actually demonstrate for you how the body can detect when certain frequencies are near it. So thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video for the next segment of our explanation of what exactly is BodyTalk.